Brad from Pro Wrestling Junkies, and welcome to another episode of Getting to Know a Junkie. Today's junkie hails from Scotland, and his name is Charlie Banks.
Hey, nice to be here, Brad.
It's good to have you. How are you doing today?
Yeah, I'm good, thank you. How are you?
Fine. Did you have is this the end of like a work day?
Yeah, so I've been working all day today, so a nice way to end the day by talking about wrestling.
Oh, perfect. We'll do plenty of that. Are you under any restrictions because of COVID?
Yeah, so we're in Scotland. We're under, well, actually in the whole UK, we're under a lockdown just now, which actually just got extended for another 3 weeks yesterday. So it's looking like the 16th of February before we'll hear if it's getting extended again. So yeah, under a lockdown again.
So if you're not going to work, you're supposed to stay home?
Yeah. So working from home is the what I'm doing just now. So
is that hard? Do you go to like a room that's specifically for your work, where you're not your bedroom or kitchen or anything?
I live in a pretty small house, so I have to split my bedroom in two. So I've got a workspace and a living space, really. So
yeah, I guess if you have to take a nap, that's a perfect place to do it.
Yeah, absolutely.
Have you picked up any like hobbies during COVID?
I've actually started collecting records. So
really,
that was something I've wanted to do for a while, but yeah, COVID's given me that a little bit extra cash, so can start doing that.
Yeah. So, what kind of records are you getting? Like, do you have a specific genre?
Yeah, so I like a lot of older music, so like 80s, 90s, so collecting a lot of stuff like that, and yeah, got a good collection so far. So
oh, we'll have to have you on Show and Tell to show that to everyone. Do you go to specific stores, or are you getting these online?
A mix of both. So some thrift stores, and Amazon is really good for getting them too. So yeah, Amazon's been the place to get them, because obviously a lot of these stores are closed just now, so having to get a lot of them on Amazon.
So where in Scotland do you live?
I'm in Edinburgh, so the capital.
Oh, okay. So do you live in the city or like on the outskirts?
Just on the outskirts. So
oh, okay.
Yeah, I'm like 30 minutes away from the city centre.
And do you go to the city often prior to this?
Yeah, as often as I can, really, like once or twice a week.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so quite often.
Does Scotland have an enemy?
A lot of Scottish people would say that England is their enemy, but it's not like a huge one. But yeah, from a political standpoint, a lot of Scottish people would say England, but I don't personally view them as an enemy.
Okay, now I haven't met any, but you know what? I interviewed a wrestler from Scotland named Solomon Streed. Have you heard of him?
I think so. I think I've come across them.
So that was my only other exposure to Scotland.
Okay.
What, for example, what's like a typical meal?
So in Scotland, we have a lot of like deep fried food.
Okay.
So, but the most typical one would be haggis, which is like the inside of like a sheep's stomach mixed together with onions and like black pepper, and it's really, really good. And we have a day every year on January 25th where we celebrate a poet from Scotland, and we eat that for dinner, and it's really, really good. It's one of my favorite foods.
Is it difficult to make?
Yeah. I've never made it myself, but we usually buy it in the store.
Okay, and is it big?
It probably fits in the palm of your hand. Like,
okay,
yeah.
And does it have any strange or different taste?
Yeah, it's really hard to describe the taste. It's pretty heavy when you eat it, so you can't really eat too much. But yeah,
do you eat it with something?
Yeah, so we have it with like mashed potato and some other things that if you can get. So like turnip. I don't know if you guys have that in the States, but
yes, sure.
Yeah. So we'd have the three of them together.
Now, a typical weekday is you're just working from home. Do you leave at all?
Yeah, so I try and get out for a walk once a day to try and break the cycle of working from home, because it could be so easy to just, stay inside all day. But yeah, try and get out for a walk at least once a day.
And do you live with any humans or animals?
Yeah, so I live with my grandma and my two younger siblings, and we've got 2 dogs. So it's a pretty busy house, but yeah, so take the dog out.
So are you in charge?
Mate, my grandma's in charge, but I like to think I'm in charge.
but I mean, if you're the muscle.
Yeah.
Just in case it ever came to that. You're the security system. So you have 2 younger siblings?
Yeah. I've actually got 3, but one lives with my parents.
Okay. And then your grandmother, she has her own room?
Yeah.
Perfect. Does she watch wrestling with you, perchance?
She does not. She has never. Well, when I first got into wrestling, she watched a little bit of it, but yeah, she's not really into it anymore.
Does she say, "Oh, Charlie, why are you watching this?" Not with my accent, but
she does think it's a hobby that I probably should outgrow by now, but still.
Yeah, people don't understand.
Yeah.
And what about your younger siblings?
So my younger brother loves wrestling. He's 10. He's at that age where wrestling's still real to him, and yeah, he loves it. But none of the other 2 like it.
Have you ever gone to a show with your 10-year-old brother?
So a couple of years back, Raw came to Glasgow in Scotland, live taping of Raw. So me, my mum, and my younger brother went through, and it was so good, really, really good.
How far away is that?
Glasgow's like an hour's drive, so it's not too far at all.
Oh, that's not bad.
Really good.
And did he enjoy it, or was he overwhelmed?
I think a bit of both, really.
Just
seeing like the size of the arena and the pyro and everything that comes with a live event, it was just unbelievable to be a part of.
Yeah. Now, had you been to shows prior?
Yeah, so I'd been to 1 or 2 WWE events before, and a lot of independent stuff. So I knew roughly what to expect, but never been to a taping before. So that was a really cool experience.
Oh, I bet.
Yeah.
And do you go to like indie shows, or wait for like the big promotions to come through?
Yeah, so usually go to indie shows once a month, but obviously with COVID, that's all stopped.
Yeah.
But yeah, I've been to a few indie shows now.
Okay. And so when was the last time you went to a show?
Oh, that's a great question. I think it was last February.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah, so just before everything really shut down. So it is almost a year now, which is crazy to think about.
It is.
Yeah.
So AEW hasn't come through there yet.
Not yet.
Okay. So as a child, how did you get into wrestling?
Yeah, so we had a PlayStation 2, and my like car boot sale, we bought like a wrestling game, and I'd never seen wrestling on TV before, and yeah, so we got cable pretty late on, so I started playing that and was like, oh, this is amazing. Like all these guys that like The Rock was still on them, and Stone Cold and guys like that. I'm like, oh, this is so cool. So at that time, we just got cable, and I saw that Raw was on TV. So I was like, I'll record that and then watch it the next day, and just instantly fell in love. So that was 2006. Obviously, the game was a little older, but I think it was SmackDown, Here Comes the Pain, or one of those ones. So yeah, that was nearly 15 years ago I started watching wrestling.
Sure.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, can you hear me?
Yeah. I think.
Okay. I don't know what happened there.
I think I froze or you froze, one of them.
Mm-hmm. But okay, so getting back to as a kid getting into it.
Yeah. So. Yeah, like I said, we bought a game and started watching it on TV, and just really found out that actually a lot of my friends were watching wrestling, but had not, like, we'd never really spoke about it because it wasn't really a popular thing to speak about. So
yeah,
that actually a lot of my friends were watching it already. So that was really cool to have something in common with them.
So everybody was watching it closetly and not
Yeah,
telling each other,
yeah,
keeping this little secret that would bring you all together from each other.
yeah. It was one of those strange ones that now I look back on. I wish we'd spoken about it more, but
Whatever. I mean, it's better late than never. Have
yeah.
you ever traveled outside of Scotland for to see wrestling?
Um, Not yet, not yet. The plan is to do WrestleMania in a couple of years, but hopefully we can travel by then.
Yeah.
Who knows what the
Uh,
world will look like?
did you, as a kid, did you collect like wrestling figures or have wrestling figures?
Yeah, so I had a lot of wrestling figures and had a list of the ones I wanted to collect, and really just over a few years got a lot of these figures that I was watching on TV and had them at home.
And were you preserving them, like keeping them in their boxes, or using them?
Using them really, yeah. As soon as I got one, it was out the packet and straight into the wrestling ring to have a pretend episode of Raw or SmackDown.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's the younger you are the least the least patient you are to
Sure.
open the thing as like a collectible. Yeah, I had like the LJN wrestling figures and the
Okay.
ring and the steel cage as a kid, and my mom tossed it. Do you have any of yours still?
No, we got rid of all of mine. I think we sold
Hmm.
a couple of years back, but yeah, I had a lot, so it was sad to see them all go.
Yeah, I imagine. I feel. I mean, well, that's always the case. There's always something from like childhood you wish you still had.
Yeah,
But I guess that's what eBay is and the internet are for.
yeah,
Um,
absolutely.
so is this your bedroom that you're in
Yeah,
right now?
yeah, yeah. So this is the room I work in, sleep in, live life in. all,
Yeah. Do you
all in
have a
one.
refrigerator in there or a hot plate?
That's the only thing I don't have, but I probably should invest in one.
Do you have a window?
Yes,
Okay,
and
so you can keep things cool.
yeah. So outside my window right now, we have like 6 centimeters of snow here in Scotland. So it's pretty cool to look out and see the snow.
Oh, is it actually snowing right now?
Um, no, it stopped. It stopped just now, but it's meant to snow again tonight at some point. So
Is
yeah.
what's a typical winter like temperature wise?
Um, in Celsius, like anywhere from like -2 to 2. So it's pretty
Okay.
cool. We have
Yeah,
like
yeah.
days that are warmer, if you will, but
Uh-huh.
still really cold.
And what about snow? Do you get big snows?
It's actually pretty rare that Scotland gets snow. Every couple
Oh,
of years, but yeah, not that often, which is surprising for how cold it can get.
yeah, that really is.
Hmm.
Have you ever been skiing?
No, it's not something I've never done. Some of my friends love to go skiing, so they go to France once a year to ski, or there's some places in Scotland you can ski, but it's not something I've never done.
Let me ask you this. Where do you go for vacations?
Hmm. So usually into Europe, so like Germany, Spain, and countries in the middle of Europe. But yeah, over the past few years, it's been Germany over any country really. Me and my friends have got some friends over in Germany, so we'll go and visit them. But yeah,
Oh, cool.
usually
And
Europe.
just and so like it's a combination of flying and train or car.
Yeah, so fly into one of the airports and just get the train out. The train in Germany is so quick to
Uh-huh.
anywhere. So
Is
yeah,
it expensive?
actually, Germany's probably the cheapest place for travel that I've been to. You can buy like an all day ticket for like €7, and you can just travel on as much transport as you want. For the
Oh,
one,
wow, that's cool.
really cool.
What city do you go to?
Usually Hamburg, which is in the north of Germany, and it's beautiful. I think
There
my
we go.
yeah, it keeps cutting out for some reason.
Yeah, I'm not sure why. And like I see like mine is a little behind. Oh, maybe not. Okay, so Germany, you said it's very cheap to travel around. Is the food really good?
Yeah, the food is really good. They do
Yeah.
a lot of good meat and cheese and bread and all the good stuff. So yeah, love going there.
And so do you stay at a hotel or with your friends?
Yeah, usually my friend can put us up in their house for the for
Oh,
the week that we're there, which is really nice.
yeah,
Save you
my God.
save your hotel costs and keep it pretty low.
Oh, for sure. Oh, that's great. Are you planning? You can't really even go anywhere now, right?
Not for a while, I think, but hopefully, at the tail end of this year, we might get to travel somewhere.
Are people getting the vaccine?
Yeah, so a lot. So it's been rolled out here, and I think we're at 400,000 people have got their first dose. So
Oh, wow.
yeah, we're getting closer to getting a lot of the older people vaccinated, the healthcare people vaccinated. So yeah, should be. I think their plan is by the end of this year to have everyone in the country done.
Wow, that would be amazing. That would
Yeah,
be
sure.
amazing. I hope every other country gets on board with that,
Yeah,
as a timetable.
yeah.
Um, okay, back to wrestling.
Mm.
Um, who is your favorite wrestler of all time? And then currently.
Yeah, so all time, either Chris Jericho or William Regal.
Hmm.
Yeah,
Oh,
I
good
love those.
answer.
Regal's one that isn't really mentioned a lot when people are speaking about a favorite of all time, but just seeing his work throughout his career is just amazing. Really, really, and Jericho, the greatest of all time in my opinion. So love those guys.
William Regal was, people hated him. He was able to sustain being a heel for
Yeah,
so long.
yeah,
Yeah, no one, when I ask this question, no one ever responds with that, and it's an awesome answer.
yeah.
What about currently, Chris Jericho, obviously. Do you have anyone else that currently?
Yeah, I've been a huge fan of Roman Reigns for a few years, and so yeah, he would. I think he's doing some great work with Paul Heyman just now, and the whole
Yeah,
story.
amazing.
And yeah, it's just so good.
Okay, so what was the best show you've been to?
That's a good question. There's a few. So I think the best one I've been to, there was a local promotion here in Edinburgh called Discovery Wrestling, and they brought the Bullet Club over a couple years back. So they had Cody, the Bucks, Omega for an evening, and there was 1,000 fans on a Thursday evening in Edinburgh, which is unheard of for independent shows here. So that's probably been the best one I've been to, and it was such a great night of wrestling, and we got to meet all those guys before the
Oh,
show.
cool.
Yeah, that was really good.
Did you go with anyone?
Yeah, so actually I usually go to indie shows where there's a group of 7 or 8 of us that all go together.
Uh-huh.
So we're all sitting next to each other that night, which was really fun.
Oh, that's awesome. How did you guys meet?
We actually met at one of the shows beforehand. We'd seen each other in the crowd before, and we were all we go to the bar before for a beer before the show, and we all were at the same place at the same time. So we just started chatting, and we became friends from that. Really.
Oh, that's awesome. Oh, that's great. Now you have a built-in
Yeah.
reserve of people.
Yeah.
Maybe only 3 people can go, but it's somebody.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
I wish I had that experience. So, are you watching wrestling religiously, or do you DVR it and watch it, when it's convenient for you?
I usually just check the highlights throughout the week
Mhm.
because there's so many shows to watch. I don't really
Can't
have
keep up.
Yeah, so I usually know what's going on and then watch every pay-per-view religiously. Make sure that I start work a little bit later the day after and watch them all as they're happening.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, and usually I'd watch them with friends as well over a Zoom call or something like that.
Oh, cool.
Yeah.
Would you typically take the day off of work the day after a WrestleMania?
Usually it falls at the Easter break for schools here.
Oh.
I usually have that week off anyway, which is actually it works really, really well. And obviously last year with it being COVID, there was nothing to do really. So I was meant to be on holiday that week, but obviously that got cancelled.
Yeah.
I had that week free anyway. But yeah, usually the day after WrestleMania, I'm off anyway, which is really good.
That's amazing. So do you have WWE Network?
Yeah, so I've got WWE Network. I've got Impact's version of the network
Mm-hmm.
as well.
Oh,
And
that's awesome.
yeah,
So do you have a TV in your bedroom?
yeah. So I've got a TV and I've got an Xbox as well, so I can watch all my wrestling on that, which is awesome.
Get that fridge, you almost never have to leave. Like, it's too perfect. Oh, I envy that. And do you share your room with your siblings at all?
No, thankfully I've got this place to myself, which is nice. So I can make yeah, when the wrestling's on, I don't have to worry about being quiet if there's a comeback or a debut or something like
Yeah,
that.
yeah. Oh, okay, that's great.
Yeah.
And hold on, I'm sorry about my last question about your living situation. You don't have to pay?
No, thankfully, my grandma's pretty good that way, where she doesn't charge me to live here, which is a blessing.
That really is. Wow,
Yeah.
you're lucky. That's
Yeah.
awesome. All right. Before I let you go, Charlie, can I ask you some would you rather questions?
Of course.
Okay. Would you rather be able to have a spouse or watch wrestling?
Oh, that's a tough one.
Yeah.
Wow. I think I would have a spouse in the hope that she likes wrestling too. But yeah, I think the spouse.
That's you found a loophole.
Yeah.
Because I never said that if the spouse can't watch wrestling.
That's true.
Okay. So this one might be a little tough.
Mm.
Would you rather use sandpaper for toilet paper or poison ivy leaves for toilet paper?
Oh gosh. I think the sandpaper.
My wife would go sandpaper as well. Apparently, I'd asked her. All right, and finally, oh, hold on. I have a question for you before we ask this. How far do you live from water?
It's a good question. There's like a beach, like 15 minutes drive, so not too far at all.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay, so here's the last question. Would you rather drink ocean water or toilet bowl water? And I'm guessing just like a small glass.
Yeah. Probably ocean water.
Okay.
I think.
You might, well, I guess you get sick either way.
Yeah, that's true.
But I think you would live with the
Yeah.
ocean one. You could get some toxic poisoning from drinking toilet bowl
Yeah.
water. All right. So, Charlie, thank you for coming on. It was great getting to know you, and I'll reach out to you afterwards so we can see the record collection and get you on that show because that would be fantastic. All right. Well, listen, you have a good rest of the day and a nice weekend, and we'll chat soon.
Sweet. Thank you.
All right. Take care.